Well, hello and welcome, race fans. We are here, the Elite Aspect F1 25, as the season is getting underway. FP1 for round one here in Australia. Again, Elite Aspect F1 25 here in Australia for the beginning of the season. We finished up preseason testing, both in Bahrain. We did 6 sessions there over 3 days, and then we did it again in Spain, where we set these drivers where they were supposed to be. We were here at Free Practice 1 because these drivers were giving tiers and salaries, and they were drafted by their team principals to stay under cost cap budget. As we see AMS Vettel in the Williams, we've got Alberto in the V-Carb, iLinks in the Red Bull, they are out on track, Animator in the Ferrari, Marcos Olmo will be in the other V-Carb, Bluz in the Mercedes, Frozen in a Red Bull, and Suk in the Sauber. Poison Harbor in an Alpine. We'll get with the driver lineup in just a little bit. Some of these drivers, we got Young Lights in the Alpine as well. Some of these drivers are reserves and are taking part in practice this morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Give the video a like. Go ahead and subscribe to Elite Aspect F1. Leave it something in the comments. As Frozen went out on track and then has stopped and has left the session, so not sure what happened there, as drivers are on out laps. Some drivers are on full laps now. Of course, if it's a red around the ring, then we will not be seeing a time on the board, as a few drivers are putting in their first fastest laps of the day. We will catch back up with everything here in just a little bit. Here is our driver. Oh, that does not look right at all. As now you can see our driver lineup. Each team has a team principal that is not partaking in the racing, or scoring points at least, as we have our fastest lap out there on the board now, 1:17.212 for ONB Alberto in the V-Carb. Very interesting track here is Australia. Lots of DRS zones, should make for a very entertaining race, but there is our driver lineup, as you can see. In the calendar for Elite Aspect F1 25, as we start here in Australia, and for the first 3 weeks we'll be going to China, and then Japan, and then we'll hit up Bahrain on week 4. Again, just here in FP1 around Australia, so drivers just getting their chops ready, getting started, as we're still watching. It would be Alberto at the moment, where Bluz is done on 120. We can check tire compounds, all on hard, some people on softs out there. Or MDJ in on the softs, putting a fast lap, it does look like. Now, what is the longest straight here, kind of, a little bit of a curve to it, but does have a DRS zone. So, I believe that is 9 and 10, some of the coolest left-right movement, lateral movement on the calendar. So again, just here for practice, FP1. Time's coming down. OMB Alberta with this 117.212, now 116.841. Marcos Olmedo, I believe, did a 117.768. We've got AMS Vettel with a 118.162, all on the hard compound tires. So great chance for the drivers to get a feel for how this circuit's going to run, check some tires, maybe get some qualifying sessions in, as we do 3 practice sessions a week, and then qualifying tomorrow. And then the race will be on Saturday. And as we're here, Elite Aspect F1 25, round 1, week 1, Australia. Should be more drivers in the session. I know more with Joe Animator here. Into turn 6, all the 7 and 8. In the DRS zone. I believe we got some racing going on with the Williams. That is AMS Vettel. Has set the fastest second sector, middle sector, through the revamped 10, 11 and 12 here, which have changed slightly over the past couple years. A little bit wide out of the exit of 12 and into the final 13 and around 14. Make his way down the start straight. Yeah, pull out a pretty good time there of a 117.195 on the hard compound tires. So these times will drop as we carry on in the session. And the track rubber's in. Just keep an eye on some of these drivers. Poison Harbor. Starting lap, so turns 1 and 2. Open the DRS. Turns 3 and then 4. On turn 5, should be flat out, maybe not on the hard, maybe not this early in the day. Six, 7 and 8. I think just putting in laps, not burning too much energy here. Nine and 10, so fun. Very close to the wall there on the exit of 14. Open DRS, make the run down with a 122.4. And I thought I saw some movement at the top. Maybe that was Young Legs putting in his lap. That was the Red Bull of iLinks piece, making his way through turns 3 and 4 now. Here in free practice in Australia, round 1 for Elite Aspect F1 25. around Australia, 5.3 kilometers, almost 4 miles, I think. On Saturday, we'll be running a full 100% race. Again, no assists for any of the drivers, so no ABS, no traction control, no line. And again, fun part about Australia is the 4 DRS zones, so in the race we may see a bit of overtaking. Yeah, let's keep an eye on I-links in the Mercedes, in the Red Bull here. Because drivers will retire, they're going to get in, put some laps times on, and then probably get out of here. It's just a practice session. We take them pretty seriously here at Elite Aspect, but some of the drivers, it's a long time to sit and just do laps. As Lynx has set that 1:19.017, just putting in laps at the moment, it looks like. Berto coming out on the pits in the medium, so we'll keep an eye on that. We can give Young Light some screen time here in the Alpine. Which I will believe next year in real F1 will stay branded as Alpine, but will switch to Mercedes engines and no longer be built by Alpine Renault. A little bit wide out of the turn 11 there. But able to keep it on track. Probably won't be setting blistering time here with that little mistake. Down to start, finish straight. Just putting in lap times. Trying to find a rhythm here in practice 1. 2 more practice sessions before qualifying tomorrow afternoon. And then we'll get into the race on Saturday. Here in Melbourne, Elite Aspect F125. Almost is starting a hot lap on what looks like a pair of soft tires. So, through turns 1 and 2 very quickly. DRS zone heading down to turn 3. Good traction out of turn 3 into turn 4, over to the side, full throttle. In the re-ramp 6, 7, and 8, off track a little bit there, purple to first sector, but that's going to invalidate that time anyway. Got Alberto on mediums with traffic ahead, I think on a push lap as well. And that's where it's going to catch a lot of drivers. Again, a really nice slipstream here. Yeah, turn 6, turn 7. That's where drivers are starting to struggle with deleted lap times. And back out Alberto has there. Who else are we looking at? MDJ still soup on the hards, still putting in laps. And now we've got Olmedo on another hot lap, coming through turns 4 here. See if they can keep it within the white lines out of 6 and 7. Find out in just a second. Looks good with the fastest first sector. Six tenths up on his best second sector. Over the DRS. Has run on board with Marcos here in the V-carb. Able to make it through 11 and 12. Not too wide. quick upshift. Return 14 there. Gonna cross the line here with a good lap time, I believe. 1:16.391. Alberto has done a 1:16.841. It's on an outlap, on the hards. Young White still pushing on the hard compound tires. And as you can see, 8 laps for Lynx, 5 for Young White's, 10 laps for Animator. MDJ 9 laps on these softs. Just finding a rhythm, it looks like. So not a lot really going on track right now. We do have the two V carbs, Marcos and Alberto, putting in some pretty fast laps on the softs and medium tires respectively. This is definitely not a push lap, or might have been for Alberto, but hasn't validated. But we'll cross the line. We'll see a lap time here. 1:16.3 on the medium. So only 20 minutes done in this practice session. I'm gonna cut the mic off for just a little bit. See who we've got out there still doing long stints. I think Alberto might be out there for a little while. If they go into the pits, they'll come off. But yeah. Alrighty, about 20 minutes left to go here. Elite Aspect F125. Here in pre-practice 1 around Australia. Oh, sorry. As I believe drivers have maybe started changing their tires around now. We still got Animator and Poison Harbor out there, almost 20 laps. High Links, 20 laps. Young Lights has done 20 laps. MDJ on a new set of cards, it looks like. Has set at 118.162. Animator finally coming into the pits. Poison Harbor probably. Sook will probably fit a smaller set, softer set. Love 9 and 10. As riding on board with MDJ in the Aston Martin. Has invalidated this lap, unfortunately. And it's coming into the pits, it looks like. As now we've got Animator coming out on a set of softs. Poison Harbor still setting laps. Link's still setting laps. Young Lights in the pits will probably come out on a set of mediums or softs. Frigate 3360 has joined. Yuri has joined in the Williams. So, still quite a bit going on here in free practice 1 here for Elite Aspect F125. As we are here in round 1. As we look at our team calendar for the 2025 F1 Elite Aspect season. Starting here in Australia. We just finished up practice in Spain and Bahrain, where based on driver performances they were given a number and drafted by team principals. Into this nice little driver lineup that we have here. So you will see some of these drivers on track at the moment. We also have a extensive list of reserve drivers that they are these teams' number 3 drivers or reserve drivers or junior driver or whatever you want to call it. They can choose from each week, so it won't be everybody that you see in every session out on track. As Lynx has finally come into the pits. I believe it is time. Take a look. Animator is still on his outlap here on the soft compounds, warming them up, and was very good in preseason testing, so we look forward to see what they can do. Of course, around here, very, very easy to invalidate around here. But as these drivers, 15 minutes almost left here, setting up for a hot lap, it looks like. Opens the DRS, making our way down to turn 1. Throw it in, try to stay in the white lines, but use as much of that outside curve of turn 2. And then down into turn 3, get the car slowed down. Hopefully we got a Sauber out of the way up there, it does look like. Into the danger zone for invalidation. Very nice. Now the long run, DRS open. These guys will be doing in excess of 200 miles an hour, especially with a draft. Into the left, right. Very dangerous 9 and 10. Sure we'll see some incidents there. Brings it down to 11 and 12. I feel like 11 was made tighter and 12 has been steepened up to a little more overtaking into 11 after the DRS zone, the more heavy braking zone. And he's going to cross the line on the soft tires, a 117.068. That's an improvement of 3 seconds on the previous time. Frigate's still in the pit. We haven't spent much time with Sook. On the hard tires, I believe. Put on a fresh set. Nope, those are 12 lap olds. So just doing lap times out there. Very, very good. Same with Poison Harbor, still putting in laps. MDJ on an out lap, Animator on an in lap. Yuri on the mediums. Looks like it's about to start a lap here. Might have lost some time there slowing down. Saw the yellow flag, but doesn't appear to be on a push lap. We've got MDJ starting a hot lap maybe. Or just finished one, because that was a better time. I believe of 1:18.162 on the mediums. I think just putting in laps on the mediums. We got Young Lights back out there on a set of hards again. Yuri should be on now a pace lap. Well, Poison into the pit. Sook mowing some grass there. These are equal cars, so we can't call it, but in real life, the Sauber was labeled the slowest car on the grid, or a tractor. Almost like a John Deere with that green paint. But I don't think so. These are equal cars. The Sauber's proven pretty well in Nico Hulkenberg's hands, at least, this season. As Frigate finally coming out of the pits, set some pretty fast times in pre-season testing. Frigate straight to the soft compound tires. Animator on out lap, it looks like. MDJ's invalidated and doesn't look like it's pushing too much. I think Yuri's just putting in laps, but already invalidated this one. I mean, Young Light, sorry. Yuri. As well. Leave it to Animator here to show us around in the Ferrari. And he's making his way to turns 3. A lot of speed through there. Fastest first sector. Almost picked up a toe, but did not. Fastest second sector. Try to keep the foot in. A little wide there on the exit, but was able to keep it in the white line. No invalidation. Looking like a pretty good lap. Very close to the wall on exit of 14 there. It's going to be a 116.681. Not fastest overall. As we saw the V-carbs take care of that earlier. A very nice lap. And again, this is still just a practice session, so some drivers still just putting in laps. We'll hang out with Frigate here, who I think is about to start a lap. Got a Sauber behind him on an out lap as well. Quite a few drivers into the pits at the moment. Some have already retired. We got about 10 minutes left in this practice session to go. It looks like Frigate's starting up. Very good in preseason testing. Couple within the white lines, pushing on. Out of the long straight, making his way up to turn 9 and 10, which we love so much. Change of direction is absolutely insane. How fast they come through here. A little off there. Didn't pull out of it, so that will invalidate that time. Let's get back. He's still pushing on, wants to see a good time here. We will show. I think it cost him a few tenths there. At least a couple. Doing a 117.9. As we see a little bit of action up here, as looks like Souk has put on the soft compound tires and done a lap. Yuri coming out of the pits on softs. Poison Harbor coming out of the pits on mediums. Frigate still out there on the softs. Animator coming into the pits or coming out of the pits as well on softs. MDJ still on the mediums. Might be starting a lap, but definitely running into some traffic. Yellow light's on a second set of cards. So a lot of drivers on out laps right now. Are just coming out of the pits and on in laps, as I believe Frigate is on an in lap. Didn't get that time on the board, so we'll keep an eye on that McLaren as it makes its way back around. There's traffic for MDJ. Thank you, Alpine. It's on the medium tires. MDJ has already done 118. That's fairly handy on a set of mediums around here. I expect the medium and the hards will be the tire of choice in the race. So we're just turning in laps here. It looks like MDJ is. And this couple drivers should be about to start here. Souk is on a lap. We'll see if he can improve on that 122. A little deep in the 3 there. Didn't invalidate. Validated there, unfortunately. And this is just pre-practice. Let's check on board with Yuri here on the soft compound tires. Able to keep it in there. The exit 7 and 8. just a downshift, was able to keep it in, but that's going to invalidate the lap. No, it did not. So fastest second sector, but did lose some time going off track there. I guess slowed down enough that it didn't count it as an invalidation, so that can happen. If you just lift up a little bit, but you're still losing time. So, we get a little no. Maybe the Ferrari would help with the toe down the straight to finish the lap. That's a 1:16.873, moves up to 4th. Young Light's still putting in laps. Is Soup now on a hot lap on these soft compound tires? Frigate's on an out lap. Animator's in the pits. Oh! Frigate's on another out lap. Young Light's just putting laps in. Is he going to put on a set of softs coming in the pits here? Put on a set of softs and make one qualifying run? To end out the session? As well, stick on board with Frigate for now. Making his way down the start-finish straight into turn 1, sling it to the right hand, stay within the white lines, already an invalidation, unfortunate. Not sure if we're gonna back out. I think they're going on pretty well here. But does want to save it or push on? So I'm saving the battery, but definitely hurrying still. Ferrari of Joe, Animator, up ahead on an outlap as well. So, alright, letting Frigate go by, but we'll be on a hot lap. But Frigate will be first. A little bit of grass on the front right, but able to keep it in and no invalidations. Perfect apex at 3. Keep the foot in through 5. And unfortunately, that's going to be an invalidation again, so we won't see a proper time on the board, but we can watch. I think they're going to go by it, and then we'll swap to Joe, who is behind on an outlap as well. And is invalidated as well, so. Maybe setting up a lap. Poison Harbor on medium is about to start a lap. Frigate and Joe Animator are waiting to start again. Not a full battery, but navigated 1 and 2. Again, another good apex at 3. Good through 4. Fast right of 5. And 6, 7, 8 is where we usually see. I think slowed down a little bit more than usual there to make sure. As we'll have to flip back to animator here as well. Fastest sector is able to keep it in. As we pick up with the McLaren through 910. Probably had more room out there. Out of turn 10. Makes his way into 11. Gets slowed down. A little late there, probably. And we make it up in this final little bit here. .117.8. And that's it for animator as well. MDJ is going to cross the line. Seem to be pushing on the mediums, but doesn't look like it. Those 120s. Well, that's going to do it for a free practice here. Elite Aspect F125. First practice session of the season. We'll be back in an hour with another one. As you see the session times there from our drivers. Different practice sessions out there. And we'll take a look at the season calendar to come. As we would do in free practice Thursdays, FP1, FP2. Fridays we'll switch to free practice 3 and then a qualifying session. And then Saturdays we'll put the drivers in and let them have a 100% race, no assists. So yeah, going to be interesting. We're just starting the season here for Elite Aspect F125. That's going to do it for this FP1. And we'll see you back in just a little bit for FP2.